What's up, everyone? Wade Willis here to give my spoiler-free review of One Piece Film Red. So if you haven't seen the movie, you can watch this review. I'm going to release a spoiler-filled review tomorrow. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you can still watch this review. I'm not going to get into spoilers or really much of what's going on in the plot, but I'm just going to kind of talk about how I felt about the story and the things that I liked and didn't like. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for tons of anime reactions, review videos, visual novel playthroughs. So first of all, I'm going to just say I thought this movie was very well done. For me, this video, the good strongly outweighed the bad. I don't even think there was really bad. There was just some things that I think could have been done a little bit better. But overall, this was a fantastic movie. Um, if I'm looking at it objectively, if we're comparing it to other kind of big shonen anime that have had movies somewhat recently, is it better than Mugen Train for Demon Slayer? No. Is it better than Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel? No. Is it better than the most recent My Hero Academia movie? Absolutely. Like, way better in my opinion. I actually thought that was not very good. But it's hard to compare this to like the Heaven's Feel movies or the third Heaven's Feel movie or even the Mugen Train, because those are central movies for the plot of the whole story. Whereas this is kind of a side story. If you never watch this, I don't think it's ever going to affect your enjoyment of One Piece, or you're not going to be missing a bunch of details, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but yeah, they still found a way to make this very captivating. I do think it adds to the One Piece world, and kind of the interesting thing about One Piece, because of how the story is, they can constantly do like side stories like this and make it kind of feel very cohesive to the story as a whole. But yeah, I thought this was very well done compared to those other two movies. Uh, Not quite as good, but again, I don't think you can. I don't think it's very fair to compare. Compared to most other One Piece movies that I've seen, this is towards the top tier as well. In my opinion, I would classify this almost as a musical. I think I counted at least 7 songs. There could even be more in this movie. I thought the songs were very good. I personally really like musicals. If you hate musicals, this is probably not the movie for you. There was someone in the movie theater, like behind me, that I could tell didn't like musicals because he would be like, "Oh," every time another song would come on, and his friends would be laughing. But if even if you are kind of like whatever about musicals, I think you would enjoy this. They are very well done. I know that the person singing is very famous in Japan, I've heard. And yeah, I was actually very impressed with the quality of the songs. And with the story itself, it made sense that there were songs constantly through it. So it wasn't just a musical to have a musical. It was made sense and was important. And if they didn't have songs, I don't think the story wouldn't have been very cohesive. So they were very central to the plot. And again, I don't want to give any like spoilers really, but yeah, you can't have this movie without the songs, in my opinion. So I liked them. Like I said, I do like musicals, but I am kind of hit and miss on some of them. And there are some musicals, if I don't think the songs are good, I hate the musicals. So I'm pretty critical of the songs in musicals, and I thought this was one of the better like musicals I've seen, song quality wise. Now, this story takes place on Elgia, which was the former music capital of the world. And they've talked about the city before in One Piece. And the rumor is that Elgia used to be a bustling like place, and then the red hair pirates essentially just killed everyone on the island. Um, so that's what we have been told up to this point. Um, you can believe what you like. Me going into the movie, I was like, I would be shocked if Shanks really did, and his pirates really did just massacre the whole island. That is kind of the antithesis of what the red hair pirates are. But again, I'm not. You'll see what happens in the movie. Yeah, the story is centered around Uta concert, which on the surface seems kind of silly, and they found a way to make this story very captivating around that whole centerpiece of it being a concert for Uta, who's um, talks about basically her goals are to make everyone happy and bring joy into the world. And all hell breaks loose once Luffy spills the beans that Uta is Red Hair Shanks' daughter. Now, all of this is in the trailer. This is all common knowledge, so that's why I'm kind of just going into this. All hell breaks loose pretty quickly in this movie. Like I said, overall, the movie was very well done. Um, it really gives me, in parts, Madoka Magica vibes, which is one of my favorite anime ever. So if you're a fan of Madoka Magica and you like One Piece, this is probably the movie for you. Again, not getting into spoilers, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie and be like, oh, okay, he I see what he's saying here. Um, and me saying that it gives me those vibes is a huge compliment to the movie itself, because that I think that means you're doing something well. The humor was top tier, what you would expect from One Piece. I was cracking up throughout the movie. They did a good job balancing kind of the heartfelt moments, comedic relief, all that stuff. I thought it flowed really well, and when they did the like kind of funny parts, it didn't take away from the moments. I feel like a lot of the comedy was needed because some of the stuff does get pretty dark and deep in this movie. So I welcomed the comedic relief, and then I also really enjoyed kind of the emotional, deeper subjects that this story was going into. I thought the animation was really good in this. Some of the best for One Piece. Again, not to the like level of UFO Table in my opinion, but very very well done nevertheless, and I loved it. Um, I didn't have any issues with the animation at all. Um, I've mentioned story is very well done, heartfelt, emotional, intense. The fight scenes are very interesting and engaging to me, and I felt like there were some parts towards the end where I feel like if they maybe added 5 or 10 more minutes in the movie, it could have been fleshed out a little bit better, and could have had more of a payoff when you get some of the reveals. But nevertheless, it was still really well done, and maybe the extra time would have just bloated the story. But I feel like there was a particular part, story part, that I don't think paid off as well as it should have. But other than that, that was honestly my biggest gripe with it. And it's not a huge gripe. Like I said, animation, music, comedy, story. I thought the pacing was actually very well done overall. Like I said, that one part felt a little rushed, but I thought that was great. Tons of cameos. I'm not going to get into them. I don't want to spoil it, but I was definitely shocked by a lot of the people that showed up in this movie. You're probably going to see one of your, like, a character who's in your top 5 for sure. So, yeah, I was definitely shocked with the number of characters that just showed up. And After, if you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments below. Actually, don't. I was gonna say, let me know who was the most shocking to you in the comments below, but please don't do that to spoil it for the other people. But yeah, if you're not caught up in One Piece, can you watch this? I think you can. Like I said, it's a side story. You're gonna get some things kind of spoiled. Um, but again, if you really want to see this movie, I think you should definitely see it. Uh, one of the ladies who was working at the movie theater, she saw that a bunch of like younger kids had seen it the showing before and was asking, "Hey, like, can I take my daughter to see this?" And then after I watched the movie, I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, you could take her to see this. Is it better if you start One Piece off at the beginning? Absolutely. But I think this is possibly a really good opportunity for uh, to bring in some new people into the series. And if you watch this and you're like, hey, this is interesting, I want to learn more about it. I'm all for more people getting into the series. So could you see this if you never watched One Piece? Sure. Some of it would probably be a little bit confusing, but again, I think more people should get into this series. So I think this might be a decent jumping off point, and then obviously you need to start over at the beginning. But lots of people start things at random seasons and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I think this would be possibly an okay place to start for the series. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing another review with spoilers in it. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll really dive into the things that I really liked in the movie and some of the stuff I didn't like as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below.